All right, we are back. You are listening to K-Talk Radio 1640 AM. This is the show Utah Home Sweet Home. I am your host, Joshi Shiraki. We've got our special guest today, Jason Justice. Jason is getting ready to purchase his next home. And so he had a lot of questions for me in regards to that. You know, he already owns currently a home, trying to decide if he wants to sell his home or keep it as an investment property when he moves. You know, a lot of people will basically keep their current residence as an investment and move into a secondary home, or they'll sell their current residence, take all the proceeds, and then roll up into a bigger house. You know, some bigger, nicer, better house. That's very, very common. A very common strategy that a lot of people will do. I literally know a lady from Canada. She was from Canada, and she had moved in Canada. She told me, it was a crazy story, that she started off as a single mother raising her kids in a trailer park, right? And knew that based off of her current income, she was never going to be able to provide more for her kids unless she got a better job, or considered this strategy she had heard of people rolling up their real estate. So luckily she owned the trailer, and so she ended up, when the market had gone up, selling it, taking that equity that she now had, that she would have never saved up at her current job, took that equity and put it as a down payment on a very modest entry-level home. And then moved her kids out of a trailer park, and she felt that was like the biggest win. And then lived there for a while, and then when that house appreciated, she says, oh my gosh, let's just do this again. And did it again and again and again, till the point where she was in one of the wealthiest neighborhoods in her city in Canada. And she shares the story with me one day, saying, you know, my kids hated me because I moved them all the time. But now that my kids are all grown up and have had the opportunity to see what I sacrificed, they love and appreciate what I was able to do as a single mother, taking them from a trailer park to one of the best neighborhoods in that town, city, wherever she lived in Canada, I'm not sure, by simply rolling up every few years. You know, some markets that went down, so she had to wait there a little bit longer, but anytime she could have a good amount of equity, she would sell it, put it as a down payment on the next home. And her payment, more or less, she said, stayed the same, because her down payments just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So it wasn't like she had more expensive mortgages. That's the beauty about this strategy, is if you take all of your equity and put a huge down payment on the house that you go, assuming it's a big, big chunk, then your monthly mortgage payment may still be the same, more or less, as you roll up to a better house than it was in the smaller house, right? And if you take half the equity and go buy a boat and a car and all that stuff and only put half of it to the next house, then yeah, you're probably going to still have, and you're only putting the minimum down payment, yeah, you're still probably going to have a big monthly payment. But her goal was to say, how can I keep rolling up into a bigger home, but still having the same income, but making sure that my monthly payment for each house stayed the same, because I could afford that monthly payment with this income I was making. And the way she did that, she just put bigger down payments as she rolled up each time, taking all the equity. And so yeah, really cool story there. And so Jason's, you know, now contemplating, okay, roll up or keep his investment property, right? Kind of just depends. And so he's my guest today because he had so many good questions for me, and over the phone I said, dude, you need to be asking me these on air.